touch of frost, some fog, and the remains of the autumn colours. Not bad conditions at all. So you can imagine how annoyed the photographers were that turned up to walk into the middle of the fen this morning to find that it was closed off due to deer management. Oh dear. So yeah, there was quite a few disappointed photographers here this morning when they realised they couldn't get to the main middle section here of the fen. But I think that's a good thing. I was always planning to come this side anyway this morning because I assumed it was going to be a little bit busier because of the beautiful conditions we've got here this morning. So I was planning to come here, but I think it's nice that there's a few more photographers now that are coming along this track because it's an unspoilt part really. There's few areas that open up and are a little bit easier to shoot, but most of it is quite difficult, and I like the challenge with that because you can find completely different compositions that wouldn't have been taken before. And that includes this shot here. Although I'm on the path, I'm not actually 100% sure how well this will edit, but I just find the complexity of this little scene here in front of me just quite attractive. It hangs together compositionally quite nicely with the way that the tree on the left hand side is just pulling in, and it just keeps the scene together. But it's extremely busy. There's lots going on. So yeah, I'm not sure how it will edit. Obviously there's no light at the moment because it's still foggy. The sun has risen, but it won't come through for a little while yet. But yeah, just little scenes like this are things you wouldn't normally take. And that's what I love about this place, is that so many of these scenes are completely hidden until you get in and search for them and find them and then enjoy them. So I'm hoping for more of those this morning, more scenes that are completely new, probably never ever been taken before. Yeah, I'm going to enjoy it. Right, here's this one, if it edits, and I'm going to carry on around the path. I'm really finding myself drawn to complexity this morning, similar to that first shot I took as I came in. A really complex scene, but this is a very similar one here. 2 or 3 really spindly little birch branches that are sticking up out of the bracken, leaning a bit to the right. The bracken itself, I'm really surprised how quick this bracken has turned. I was here only 3 weeks ago, as you saw in my last video, and again, as you saw, it was really green still, but now it's just gone. The bracken's turned to the point where it's wintry now, and a lot of the leaves have gone. So yeah, the bracken is very dull looking, but there's a few little fronds that are still retaining a bit of colour. I think I can probably bring out in post, but yeah, the scene is really complex, really busy, but I quite like the challenge of it, if I'm honest, and I think it works well, again, similar to the other scene. But yeah, there's just something about it that's just attracted me to take it, and these are those shots that, as I said earlier on, you would walk past generally, but on a day like today where we've got the conditions, then they're only ever really going to work if they've got that little bit of atmosphere to them to help them along the way. So yeah, I'm saying that it may not even work and I won't even be showing it to you, but anyway, if it does, here's the shot. So this one is a little bit simpler. So we've really only got these three separate birch here in this clearing. The bracken here is mixed greens, yellows, browns, which puts a little bit more emphasis on the foreground really, because as I say, flat, dead bracken wasn't very interesting earlier on. Yeah, these ones are okay. I've got two birch that have got leaf on, one that hasn't behind. Separated quite nicely. There's lots of combinations of this shot that I could have taken, and I'm not wholly sure which one I'm going to end up liking the most, but I do quite like the light that's coming through in this clearing, the way that the leaves are, the little branches are sort of bending in from the left. There's a broken bit of deadfall with bracken around it that's pointing back in from the right, which balances it quite nicely. So yeah, I quite like this. I think this is probably so far going to be my favourite shot. Yeah, but we'll see what those other ones turned out earlier on. But mist is clearing, but it's still beautiful, so I'm going to hang around for a bit more. But I'll put this one up, and hopefully this one edits quite nicely. So, big beast is out. I've had the 24 to 120 on all morning so far, and I think it's about time the 100 to 400 comes out, because I'm in an open clearing here, and I am sure that if I just do a 360 with my 100 to 400, I am bound to find some nice little simple compositions. Got a little bit of light starting to creep through, still got the fog and the mist. Yeah, there's a few over here. So I'm going to now have a play with this 100 to 400 and see how many shots I can get in this one little area here. Yeah, should be fun. So I quite enjoyed just picking off a few shots there with the 100 to 400. It's strange now I've got this Nikon. Before with the Sony I was really only shooting with a 100 to 400, and now it's a mixture of that 24 to 120 which I've had on most of the morning, and now this 100 to 400. And I do feel, and I keep saying it, and I know I do, and I'm probably boring you lot senseless, but as soon as this 100 to 400 is on, I do feel that it just opens up so many more opportunities. Just to vary the scene that you're taking a shot of, and what I mean is there's a tree here that's leaning over to the left of the path here. It's retaining some of its orange leaf, and it's catching a little bit. We had a bit of light a second ago, but it's gone. It's just catching a little bit of side light. It's giving it that sort of 3D effect, and just the forms of it you can crop into and just play with to create obviously more of an abstract composition rather than, you know, representative of a scene. But even so, I think the forms and things that you can play with by just going in a bit tighter with a 100 to 400, it just opens up so many more opportunities. It really does. So yeah, that's what I'm going to finish off with this. I have taken it in several ways. Either gone in at what I'm like 200 now, slightly wider at 100, But yeah, this particular tree's got some dark behind it. You've got some green trees behind, so therefore those little orange leaves are popping nicely. So this will be my final shot or shots, and then I'm going to head off. So yeah, it's a bit of an odd vlog this. I'm not really sure what I'm gonna call it. Just me out normally, just doing my stuff and enjoying myself. And there's several of us around this morning to enjoy a good morning of photography with some nice conditions. So yeah, that's it. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, then I shall see you out sometime soon. All right, you take care.